Excuse me. Oof. Alrighty. I think we should be good. Just double check, make sure it's make sure we're live. Yep. Hello, hello. Alrighty. Where did we leave off yesterday? Check my notes here. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we just ended on doing some Niagara particle effects. Which, I mean, we're gonna slightly be doing that today, but not as much, I don't think. What we're gonna be doing is fixing some bugs that I actually found. I actually went in and tweaked how expansion works for our abilities, and what I mean by that is, excuse me, we have like this ability, right? You couldn't today? What do you mean? Oh, okay, couldn't touch grass. Is that what you're about to say? Okay, so what I did was I actually tweaked the abilities. And basically, I made it so like casts that spawn directly on the actor will better accurately show like the radius after the expansion is done. I just have to tweak a couple settings for the model itself so it has like the right the right dimensions or scale. And what I also did was set a hard clamp for our base spell when it actually expands. So I took out how we were doing it before, which wasn't like super accurate. And the client and server were also having like separate variables for what the expansion looked like. And I changed it to be something that is like 100% reliable no matter what. And even to double down on that, when the expansion completes, the relative scale will be set to the final expansion. I still didn't give up on that one day. Oh, still didn't give up on that one. Day 3 of saying country's name. Well, you got that going for you. I also added in a chat filter now. So I know you're being sneaky getting around saying like certain words by using a different text and like language. So I may or may not have put in a way to detect that. Okay, so certain languages. Certain languages can't be detected, but other ones can. It's more so like the actual characters itself that I doubled down on a little bit. Okay, so close out of this here. So we're not getting a complete like representation of like what it looks like when it actually finishes the spawn. And I think that's because this is not properly spawning it at the right location. Like this is grabbing the component location of the mesh is where we're actually spawning it here. I think that's what's actually messing with it. Possibly. The reason I say that is I put this this log right here to actually catch what the final radius would be, or final scale. So if we go in here and we actually try and use that ability, it says that the actual final scale for the ability is this. Actually, want to try something too. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure that I didn't accidentally copy and paste this to another function. And like I didn't forget to, or I forgot to actually change the naming of the log. Because that would be absolutely brutal. Alright, we got live coding done. Let's check it out. No. Okay, so it has the translation set correctly. One thing is if I try to like detach from the character and do it, it's not going to show because technically it's a we're a listen server right now. Ooh, actually, I wonder if I can, set the translation of the actual spell mesh during the deferred spawning. That would probably be a better spot for this actually. So we can create an F vector final expansion scale. Ooh, actually, how do I want to do this? New buff unlocked, press W to continue. I can probably detect this here actually. And since we actually have a function called complete expand, which I might be able to expose that and have this set the final transform or translation of our model for us. Minus 10% more stealth in snow biomes. How are you referring to my shirt? %5 stealth when skydiving? Oh, I don't know about that. If I ever went skydiving, I'd probably be screaming out of my mind. Yeah, we possibly can call complete expand. Another way to do it, if we actually don't want to expose this, is we can make another function to do so, or we could probably just call the set relative 3D scale. Oh, it's a const? Let's undo that then. %4 stealth buff when in ice cream containers. Yeah, I guess so. Shut down and actually compile this real quick. Would be good. So the main goal is just to give an accurate representation of the area of effect that this ability will have once it's casted. To be honest with you, I was contemplating like two things when doing this. I was like, do I show like a visual representation of the expansion of this model when you have like the cast like selected, or do I just like allow it to happen like afterwards? Because like I could have the cast like show that it's just continuously like expanding and then it just like resets. So like I can kind of play the actual cast itself. Dude, now we're good. Like see how it grows like that? I could actually have it play and like do that repeatedly, but that like blinking, I don't know, I think that would just be a bit too much for the player. We're also going to be changing the material itself, so it's definitely a lot more translucent than it actually is right now. You can't really see. It's kind of you're actually kind of just nerfing your vision. All right, so we have the model set right here. I'm going to use that square in the top here as an indicator to see if this is actually completing at that exact spot. It's not, so it's off by a little bit. Now the thing is, our complete expand is actually working perfectly fine. So that means the actual location that the mesh is spawning at is not correct. So we are using the component location from our character right here to do this process. If we go to our spell, actually it would be within the spawn class here. Press O or get kicked. Ah man, no, I'll get kicked. I'm good. If I type the letter O, then I guess I'm fine. But we'll see in a second. Alright, so it is grabbing the location right here. Now, is there something that's offsetting the location after spawn? I do not know. Let's see what the location is here. So we're going to make a couple tests here to get an accurate depiction of where this is actually coming, or spawning. What the fuck am I talking about? Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. That was cringe. Anyways. I'm gonna disable clipping on my channel. Alright, so spawn ability instance or no location. And I know about some days talk about being off ball, but goddamn, that was crazy. You have 1 minute remaining. 1.5. Technically I pressed O. Otherwise, how did location get there? Oh, you know what it actually could be? And this is kind of funny. The animation of like actual like doing the cast technically moves our mesh. So I wonder if that is what's actually causing the problem there. If that's the case, we can probably just use the root component of the character, which is the capsule. We'll see, we'll see. I just thought about that. We don't care about that. Go here. This is where we want to grab the actual location. I'm going to keep this the same as the other class because I'm going to filter it by this. I'm going to remove this like right after we're done. I'm not too concerned about it. But we do want to get the transform that we're going to be applying into this, and then use the location from that. Honestly, we can make an F vector here called location. Like so. And we should be able to live code this with no problems. You've been kicked from the server. Remember the deal about the Reddit? Oh yeah, where you said you got like 100 people or something to help you do like the building and stuff. What about it? Filter our logs here. Shit. Hold on. I'm not supposed to move when I do that. Force a habit. Exact location. Huh. Alright, let's use that top square as like a gauge here. We have the location. Okay, so it looks like sometimes it's off by like, honestly, a very like small amount, if that. There's actually another parameter that can be causing this problem, now that I think about it. Are we zeroing out the rotation of this mesh when we're spawning it? Yeah, we are. Remember the deal about Reddit? JK, I'm not being exact. They said they would send me a lot of people, and I'll get workers in the early stages too. I'll probably get like 500 people. Also military. Jesus Christ. A lot of people. More power to you. The goal is to get this almost exact. Well, pretty much exact to where we need it to spawn. So I think using the capsule component might be the best way to do it. Now, for the transform, we're actually using the camera component for modeling this. I think at spawn actor we actually moved away from that, and I think we were using like actor rotation. Yeah, we are. Alright, let's do a deeper dive into this now. So when it completes its expansion, let's actually check and see what its rotation and location is after that. The translation we know is fine, so we're good there. Out of the way. Again, I know this is off, but we're going to be filtering by this. I'll remove it later on. So we have spawn location here, and then we want spawn rotation. And we will make something for that. So we'll do spell location. Hit component. Location. And then we'll make an F rotator, spell rotation. We want to do roll. Pitch. Yaw. What are we missing here? That conversion should be fine. What are you having a problem about? Oh, fuck. Copy and paste it. We're good. Do you know the Pope? He lives at the Vatican. Or Vatican City. Was raised Catholic, so one thing I learned, I guess. Here, we'll grab the rotation. Specify it like this. Oh, step quad. Rotator. Not rotate vector, rotator. There we go. Okay. Make sure that we are not in play. We'll live code. Vatican has 2.6 as many people as I'm getting from the deal. Yeah, I thought you had to be like a specific rank in the church or something to live there. Or that just might be inside like their like citadel. You have to be a cardinal or something. Yo, it's crazy. So I went to Catholic school and stuff, right? And the priest that was actually at the Catholic school I went to, he didn't get caught doing like the usual thing that priests do. I'm not gonna say what that is, but apparently he was like drug trafficking. Like he was just like selling like massive amounts of like cocaine or something outside of like the church. And like no one ever expected him to be doing that. So he was doing it for like 12 years or something. But he was like the biggest drug dealer in like the area. And it was the priest. That's some shit you hear out of like a movie. And that actually happened. I hated that guy. So that just felt so good hearing that. That's why so many people joined the church. Yeah, I was wondering why a lot of people were just like itching their arms and shit and during mass. Okay. So you have the rotation and everything. So the base model has an offset like rotation compared to what actually spawns. So that's actually pretty important, right? Because we're zeroing out the location and everything. And if we have a z-axis in like a sphere, right, that is offset from the x and y, then that means when you actually pitch down, like in this case 14 degrees, it's actually going to make a huge difference as to where this covers. You can actually see it right here. See how that line is actually moving as we move our head up and down? So, just caught that. The rotation is something we actually have to look for here. Not spawn at, probably spawn with 0 rotation. Spawn which. And we'll make a getter for this actually. So let's go into our spell and we'll make a force inline for the ability if it spawns with 0 rotation. Just press the button on my mouse, no idea what it does. Force inline. Const boolean. Doesn't need to be a reference because that actually has more memory than it's making a bool. All force inline does is basically make it so this code, in layman's terms, it's more optimized, because you're basically saying like, hey, this is how this function is written. You don't have to translate it. Like this is what it's going to do. Don't touch it. So it doesn't have to do anything with this. You usually want to use force inline. Just as a side note here, for anything that's like a return value that you want public, which is why I put all of them down here like this. Yeah. Casting component. There we go. Interesting. So technically, the way we're gonna have to grab this is by going into the default object of the T subclass of the spell that we're trying to create right now. So we can do that. This. I'll comment this out real quick. Along with this, we have our T subclass of here. Get default object. That. Comment this. By default, we're going to initialize this as false. And I actually want to put a check here to make sure that this is valid. Not if that is valid. Damn, my elbow just popped like crazy right there. Can I say a joke about the dude selling this things? Can I say it, Mike? A pun about that priest? Yeah, I don't know about that one, champ. I was actually questioning if I should even bring up that topic at all. But you talking about the Vatican just gave me like flashback. Can't be const. Alright, so for set rotation, very simple. If spawned with 0 rotation is true, then we just make an F rotator. Oh wait, this needs a F quad, which we can convert. So, or we could just make a default F quad. Figure it out. Alright, so for rotation, this is basically saying that if this is true, then we'll use this. But if this is false, then we'll use everything past this colon. Easy enough. Oh yeah, I also have this here. So we don't want to... When we're moving this actor around, we actually don't want to move it along with the pitch. Convoluted fucking pumpkin. Oh, this is from the old code. I didn't touch it because I was like, oh, everything's working. Why bother moving this around? So what do we got here? What about the priest? He's the reason why the choir can hit high notes. Dude, okay. That, fair enough. That's a good one. Not gonna lie. I hate myself for laughing at that, but yeah. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Alright. So, when we're moving the current spell model here, we want a condition probably, or if this even happens. Shit, so I mean, we could make something. The spawn with 0 rotation, I mean, we can make this a member variable so it uses it, right? man, that's like another layer of thing. Like, that's another layer that I'd have to keep track of when spawning actors. So here's the trade-off, right? We add another layer that we have to keep track of by making this a member variable. We have to reset it after the cast is complete, etc., right? Or the trade-off here is we grab the current spell model, and then we basically just do something where we ask it if we need rotation or not. Go Phillies? Yeah, we'll see what happens. What is this? Oh, yeah. That is something we will do. Where's our move function at? Here we are. Yeah, so current spell model, we would basically get apply 0 rotation. This is false, then we'll go through and do this. Actually, another way to do this is making like an enum for this. I have like an enum called adjustment type. Hit Control Enter here. Could probably set something for no rotation. The reason I'm looking at this and I'm like, maybe this is a good idea, is because our adjustment type, like enum that we have, is already taken care of for us. We already have it resetting properly. We know it's working. So we could probably just add that in here. Anyway, man, I gotta ask you, what's up? What do you got? Are any of our current abilities that have a zeroed rotation ever going to use this? No. So yeah, we can set it here then. So if this is true, he puts put no rotation. We'll go back up here. That should work. think I found the resizing behavior I wanted for my window. Nice, man. Also, hello, it's been a while. How have you been? Did you love or hate school back then, and what's your opinion about it now? So I have I guess a pretty strong opinion about school. Growing up, I wasn't really like taught that school was like as important as it is. So knowing what I know now about school, I would have taken it a lot more serious than I did. The way my brain worked back then, or the way I thought about it was like all like optional, like, oh yeah, I don't really have to do this. Like, I'm just going to like do my own thing when I get out. But putting in a lot of effort, not only did it give you like a better chance to like succeed, get scholarships, like all this, right? It also taught you like a very valuable lesson about like putting in effort and then having results. And a lot of people that like don't take school as seriously don't have a really good like mental fortitude to sustain like projects and keep things like going. So I feel like I definitely would have tried a lot harder knowing what I know now. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Tries to keep the text editor bigger relative to the Project Explorer. Oh, okay, so you're doing like a scaling factor then. What do you think of that? That should be a pretty good way to do it. Tries to keep the text editor bigger relative to the Project Explorer. Yeah, so as long as like each like window within it is keeping like its relative scale to that of the other windows in there, then yeah, that sounds like a really good way to do it. I just get by in school. I get all of them over 90. I get like A+, A, and B+. I mean, you're a smart kid, to be honest. So, like, just don't try to get by. Don't get distracted too often. And really put in an honest effort, because it not only shows that like you're smart and capable, it also shows that you are able to put in the effort to accomplish something, which is really valuable. I don't care about school, to be honest. See, the thing is, it's not about like caring about school. It's more so like, think of it as training. You know, people go to the gym and stuff to train to, you know, be physically healthier and mentally. You can think of like going to school and like doing assignments, learning as like mental training almost. You may not like what you're learning, but the fact is, if you find a efficient way of studying that thing, it will help you learn more things in the future more efficiently. Oh my god, that thing actually worked. That's crazy. In my case, I get worse and worse in school. Oh man, yeah. In high school, freshman year, I did great. And then sophomore year onwards, I just did not try. I skipped so many days of school to play like WoW and stuff. Not great habits for me back then. Since I discovered programming, school has been harder for me mentally. I used to get decent grades, but now I'm almost failing. My effort gets lower and lower. So that's rough, because like I would really try to balance out like priorities of like importance. Yeah, I know programming's a lot of fun, and you can really get lost in the sauce, so to speak, but yeah, taking that stuff seriously is very important. Especially if you're in college and you're paying for it, like that's a very expensive bill that you can't really get refunded for. You know what I mean? Like you're you're paying to learn at that point. Like you're basically taking like an not online, you're basically taking like a course or like multiple of them. Nice. Now we got an accurate representation of spawning. Sometimes in classes, my mind just drifts off to programming and I miss half the class. Oh, dude. So my brain back then was the opposite. It wasn't about programming. It was about like, shit. What threes comp do I want to run in arena after school today? Because I played back in like Burning Crusade, Wrath, Kata, and then during like Wrath and Cataclysm is when I took arena like very serious. In my opinion, both is bad because I lose the balance. Yeah. That's such a tough thing because both require like a lot of mental fortitude to do, you know. It requires your attention, which honestly, like, a lot of people don't have that much attention anymore to give. Everything is so like fast paced nowadays that you just can't stay focused on one topic at a time. I mean, shit, I got like fucking 4 monitors. So I'm probably the epitome of that. I put in effort in a lot of things. As long as you have like your priorities set, then that's a good thing. But a lot of people will prioritize what they find more enjoyable rather than what they should be doing. And it's a very easy trap to fall into. I think some people call it like shiny object syndrome. You see a nice fun new thing to do, so they just do that instead of focusing on what they should be doing. I don't know, it's a lot of psychology. I'm not a psychologist, but I can speak from experience that I've fallen for that trap a lot. Ideally, I should have a healthy balance. Yeah, and it's kind of, you have to just find it by working and doing and seeing what you're mentally capable of handling at a time. I know school can be very demanding. You're basically doing a 9-to-5 job, sort of. And you only have like 4 or 5 hours after school ends to like really get stuff done before you start, you know, getting ready for bed or whatever. On some days, I'm also more capable than others for some reason. Yeah, it's probably, I mean, in my case, some days I just get better sleep than others, and those days I just feel really good. Feel super energized. Okay, so I think the next thing that we're going to do here, one of the things I have to work on is status effects. I have an idea for some of them. Just gotta try them out. That's funny. This is actually an empty GE. God damn it. Alright. I used to get bad sleep every day, but it's a habit I've broken after 5 years. Yeah, honestly, the worst detriment to your sleep is being on your phone right before you go to bed. Like artificial light just like really ruins your sleep beforehand. It's just hard not to be on your phone, honestly, because shit, I'm trying to catch up, watch some YouTube videos and stuff right before bed. I don't know. I find it peaceful falling asleep while watching like a YouTube video and then dropping your phone on your face. Some of these just aren't really used anymore. I guess that one is. Yeah, that one's good. Should actually get renamed. I don't want to start categorizing damage types. Make it a bit easier. When I was young, I stayed up late because I had waves of loneliness, which I suppressed by using my phone and online communication. Because at the time I was physically deformed body-wise, I didn't want to talk to people in real life, but online I could just show my face and keep my body hidden. This changed once I had surgery to correct the deformity. I can kind of relate to that a little bit. I mean, I was born with a cleft lip, so my shit was fucked up for the first couple of years of life. Till I had surgery to fix it, which, I mean, it's still there. Still noticeable, you can't correct everything. I work hard in school, but not for school. Get me? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You're doing like the least amount to like get by and get like good enough grades. I'm assuming is what you're saying. Yeah, so this is what I really need to work on here. So this actually is going to be something that affects not movement speed. We actually want to affect health here. Actually, I want to look at a certain ability real quick as a frame of reference here on how we're going to do this, because Tranquility currently heals targets. It says GE damage, but that's like a baseline damage thing. Let me test this out. Ooh, medical terms, very hard to pronounce. In my case, I had a terrible, I'm just gonna say like scoliosis. The first part is just going to tarnish my reputation of pronouncing things correctly. And even with clothes, it was noticeable, so I had spinal fusion. Ah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I can't say that I know someone with that. Oh man. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Crazy. I mean, I know somebody that has like, wait a minute. Has like bone deformities and everything, but it's a very different experience than that. Doesn't run in the family, just got unlucky. It happened young. Yeah, with my like cleft lip thing, it actually didn't run in my family at all. But I was just the first one to get it. Kind of weird. It's actually like, whenever I go to the dentist and I need like dental work done on my teeth, if they ever do like any type of injection, and this is, I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but when they put like numbing material like with a needle in like the front row of like my teeth, and they put it into the gum, there's actually like a gap or like a pocket behind that area. So when they actually inject it, it doesn't actually go into like the area it's supposed to. It actually just like runs down my throat. And I've tasted too many times. I've tasted like the numbing material that they use at the dentist. And dude, that shit makes me want to throw up every single time. It is the worst tasting thing that has ever touched my tongue before. I want to say something else, but not appropriate. That's not it. Explain it to me. Shit, we were supposed to test that out. The goddamn ADHD. Oh, I also have to get the sizing of that correct. I just want to see if the gameplay tag is actually getting applied here. I don't believe it is. An overlap is triggering a not apply base effect to allies. That's not correct. Oh, actually, that might be on the hold on a second. That might be on the client side predicted version of the ability. Let me try something real quick. So we're going to see what the net mode of this ability is and compare it. So we're going to see if this overlap effect is being triggered on the server or client, because I think that's just the predicted version doing this, and if so, the predicted version is actually, I'm going to make sure that these overlaps aren't set, which I thought I did before, but I guess not. I was lucky that I was able to get it corrected at least, because not everything can get corrected. It's very true. I feel blessed and cursed at the same time, but honestly I think that this has stunned me socially because I avoided so many social things because of it, so that's probably the worst part. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I know people that have been like homeschooled, and they this is a weird way of saying this, they were like bred on the internet, and the internet and social cues don't mix well together for the most part, because when you kind of grow up with just like Twitch chat, you're not learning the best way of like communication with people. But I mean, like, I've seen you in chat like a handful of times and you ask like probably the most chill questions. I can't imagine it's too bad, but I do feel your pain a bit. I was a very introverted kid because I have a giant scar on my face. I work on things I want to work on at school, not things school wants me to work on. That seems like the opposite of what you should be doing, my friend. Okay. The listen server. This is the client. Some subjects I do very well, but some subjects it's just a mess. You don't mind me asking, like how old are you? You don't have to say like specifically your age, but you could say like teenager, young adult, or anything like that, and I'll get an idea. School is boring as AF. Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could go back and redo it. And it's funny because... Oh, that was weird. I remember my parents saying the same thing, and I was like, why the hell would you want to do that? And it wasn't until I got older that I was like, oh, that's why. Like, that makes so much more sense now. Yeah, it's the client version that's saying that you can't. Young adult, but I'm slightly older than my peers. They're late teens, about 18, 19. Oh, okay, so you're either like senior year of high school or like first year of college then, I'm assuming. Gotcha. Yeah. Younger 20s is a weird time. It's where you kind of try to find yourself, but you don't really get there. And it's not until like mid to like late 20s where I am right now that you kind of like get a grasp on what you really want to do. And then you kind of just like go for it. Or at least you try to. Alright, so this is actually doing the application for the ability, but I don't believe it's actually applying. I'd like to see why. Oh, this could be one of the reasons why. Got it. So how often do we want to apply this effect? We have it as every second right now. It's fine. So this is a healing effect that should be getting applied here within this radius. I don't think I'm going to have the radius expand too much. Also lasts an assload of time, so I probably have to change that too. Oh wait, I think I actually changed it to 60 seconds for debugging purposes. Oh, yeah, okay. That was pretty crazy. Originally I had this at 8, I'm pretty sure. To really change the naming of this from final scale to what it actually is. So I want to add additive to this because what this is going to do is it's going to take the current scale of the mesh, because we have different sizes and scales of the default meshes, and this is going to take that and add it onto the that mesh. You can kind of see that here. Ooh, that would have been a tragic bug. I'm adding a to-do here because we're going to come back to this and add in something that displays like the radius of explosion as well, because sometimes these actually have basically, like fireball for instance has the initial impact and then there's the radius that it explodes into. So I gotta add something in to determine what the indicator, or like the model indicator, is going to look like when we're doing like a projection for it. So like when you're aiming, we have that like blue like ball at the end, and that's not like a great representation of it. So I want something a little bit more accurate, but this might go on the back burner until after we get done internal playtesting this weekend. Should add indicator for AoE damage radius. Actually, this is a good idea for it as well. Possibly 2 colors for identifying initial impact. And then explosions. Should add indicator for AoE damage radius, possibly 2 colors for identifying the initial impact collision and then the explosive collision radius. Yeah. Okay. Slowly but surely. We can actually get rid of all of that. When I first made this, I did not do a great job at making sure that the expansion was actually synchronized from server to client. So when I was doing testing last night on this, I looked at this function, I was like, huh, this isn't clamped to like remain at a certain size. So when I'm actually scaling a model up, it wasn't like the actual scale wasn't the same as like the server would be. Sometimes it was larger or smaller. So I went back and redid the scaling function for the expansion. Other thing we have to fix is we only want the server to assign these begin overlaps. Just do the bare minimum of schoolwork and just have fun doing the stuff I want to do. School is boring AF. Oh, I already read that. Yo, what's up, G-Man? How you doing? Technically, I could move this outside to where this is displayed or called. So we gotta think about this, right? Visuals, like visual indicators, are things that we want to display on the client and server, right? But anything that does like damage application or handles any of those features, we probably want to keep off of the client. Yeah, so like these things, visual, these things, also visual, visual, this stuff, well at least this right here, not visual. So this is probably where we should actually check for it, not directly inside this. We would check it before it's even called, because there's probably other functions that need to have that gatekeeping. Interesting. Oh, I also hard coded this right here, mainly because if an ability goes past like 7 seconds in the air, meaning like they probably missed their target or they shot it off the map, abilities are marked as pretty much always relevant, so we need this to not permanently be a thing. It needs to die off at some point. I could implement a kill volume, but abilities that don't actually apply gravity would not really be affected if they shot into the air. So 7-second kill time. I'll adjust this later on if it's actually too short, but so far 7 seconds has felt pretty good. Yeah, so we only want the server to do this damage handling. Everything else in this function right now that I can see is all visual indications. Now the one thing is, using getNet mode is actually usually pretty slow, so we might be able to set this on begin play to use later on, possibly, because begin play is called on every single actor that can see, very important, that can see this spell. So there's not much delay between the two, so I don't think we actually really need it. Like, I'm playing battle royales I got OP loot right now. Hope I win. Best of luck to you, friend. Got OP loot right now. I think the loot will probably carry you more than skill if it's truly overpowered. Alright, so we don't need this functionality anymore, because we're done testing that side of things. Let's move into our projectile and see if there's anything in the projectile that needs to be moved over to only listen server. Base projectile. Damage and radius. So calling this twice makes me really want to make a member variable for it. Because, I mean, you can see the amount of checks that this has to go through to get what we actually need. So just storing it would probably be a easier way to do this. We'll go down to where we're storing our internal variables here. We'll use a boolean for this. Okay. So if getNet mode equals, we can actually use a greater than or equal to listen server. Reason being is because with enums, oh, actually we can use, ooh, shit, hold on a second. Thank God I checked this. The rule still applies though. With enums, they're actually just numbers. So you actually can use like greater than, less than, or equal to. And if you like hover over them, it actually shows you what the number value is of the enum. So the first one here is 0, then we have 1, 2, 3, etc. So we could probably do a less than or equal to. Anything greater than this we know is the client. Put a mental note here for this later on. Actually, I'll just make it short and sweet. So wherever we're checking for this, use this here. Go down to projectile spill. Very important. So see how... Actually, this won't affect anything. We're calling the super version of begin play here, which is the base spell version. So we're basically just copying and pasting the begin play. You can think of it as like we just copied and pasted all this code and then just like put it right here. We're calling two things before we actually set the server boolean that we have, but these are visual. They don't really affect anything, so we don't really care about it. I hate hackers, bro. Hackers are the worst. To game developers, yes. They are not fun. Looks like we did an override for set display model at impact point here. I don't think we actually need that override anymore after changing it on the parent version. Close this up and check it out. I'm gonna bring this here for comparison. Oh, isn't that weird? We're actually calling the super version here as well. Yeah, I don't think we need this. Yeah, we're kind of already handling that up above. Alright, let's do a build and see what we got. Alright, so we should have only overlap events actually being called on the server at this point, which is going to be a performance boost for clients. We should have pretty accurate models as well for displaying like impact locations and area of effects for abilities. So all is looking pretty well. Excuse me. Let's go into our tranquility ability here. making sure that we don't have to change too much. So we actually want this to grow within a second here. Now the additive, hi y'all, how are you? I'm assuming that's what HRU means. Doing pretty good. Just fleshing out some mechanics with abilities right now. Making sure we got everything all set up right. It actually wants to be like 3.3. Oh, you know what's throwing me off? The expansion scale axis. Because the offsetting size here, I didn't actually think about that when I was doing the calculations for it. Which in hindsight is not too great. Oh, actually, we're not even using that variable anymore, are we? So shift F12 and see. I'm a lurk. I gotta do an essay due tomorrow. Love procrastinating. Oh man, we just had a whole conversation about procrastination. So I get it, but always have priorities. Pretty much the sum of that whole point. But I do appreciate you lurking. Alright, we removed the U property here, and I do like my blueprints to not be corrupt, so let's shut down and compile one more time. If you guys have any questions on projects that you're working on, or need input on anything, pretty much feel free to ask. We don't want to hide the spell mesh on activation quite yet. This will be something we eventually completely get rid of, and or move it to a debug section. But as of right now, it is pretty important. Okay, it is attempting to apply healing. I do see that. So if we go on our client, apply some damage. Nice, we got some healing. Yeah, the radius of abilities basically has to get fixed since we've moved it over to something else. Ooh, that was delayed. That was really weird. What the fuck? Why did it spawn all the way out there? Our actor's location is... Can't really see it actually. This is our actor's location right here. But that ability spawned here. That's weird. I'm trying to think what the hell would even cause that to happen. Someone just knocked on the door. Be right back. Could be good. I thought I just ticked something off in OBS. This. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Alright. Now we gotta find out why the hell that ability spawned out like so far away from our character. It was crazy. I don't see any settings that are just like They're like too weird. Thing. What the fuck? Followed the guides, but there's still a major gas concept I'm missing info on for my game. I want spells to cast. Could heal friendlies, hurt enemies. I'm applying an effect to the other unit. Oh, so you're looking to do like where's the logic for that unit to understand that they received heal and buff? That heal with their personal buff. Oh, okay, so if they have like a some type of like amplifier, so like they received increased healing. Yeah, so I had to make my own custom kind of like damage applier, so to speak, that's able to do that. So if we go here, the way I did it was I would look at the target. Gotcha. So to calculate their healing effects might be a bit different than how I do it here, but just to like do like applied healing, the way I'm doing it in my game is I look at like their team ID, which I'm using the generic team ID, which is the it's a framework for Unreal that allows you to just do a really simple team handling. And what I'm doing is I'm actually taking the damage, or the supposed damage that the player's supposed to take, but if they're on the same team, I actually make it negative. And what negative damage will do is it will just be applied to your health bar. So instead of subtracting from your health, double negative means positive, so it's actually going to add to your health in the end. So I don't know if you're stuck on like the part of like applying healing, which that's how I'm doing it here, or you're stuck on the part of like the amplifiers. So yes. Now is this an override? I believe. No, so this one actually is a custom function that I have, that I call. So like I have a custom ACS and I made a custom function here for it. And it basically takes like an effect handle and it will modify it and return it. Now where this is used, if I pressed Shift F12 here, actually, this should do the application for me. Hold on one second. Yeah, okay, here it is. So I call this custom function, which takes the handle, right? I basically do all the functionality of determining if like the player is on my team or not, and if they are, does my ability do healing? If so, then I will flip the damage from a positive float to a negative one. And then at the very tail end here, I'll just call the built-in function apply gameplay effect spec to self with that modified damage variable. You can use the assign tag set by color magnitude function here to change damage types. I don't know like how much prior knowledge you have of like the gas system. I don't know how much I need to explain into detail about like certain functions like this, because this goes into like setting up your gameplay tags and assigning them inside gameplay effects so you can modify them outside. Like the way this works is so on your gameplay effect, I can actually show you. On your gameplay effect, if we have damage. Oh shoot, hold on, I have the combat running. So you see how I have something called like this like modifier right here? And you see how I have something called modifier magnitude, and it says set by caller right here? You can assign, like right here I have ability combat damage. So when there is a gameplay effect that has this tag on it, which is this tag here, I can basically grab that, and I'm basically just putting in the damage, which is over here, into this gameplay effect. Hopefully that makes sense. Gameplay, like the gameplay ability system is like super like complicated in the beginning, but after you use it for a while, it kind of makes sense. Okay, you're following all of it? Got it. Yeah, like someone could have an increased healing buff from their team and lead heal cut and need to calculate both and need to potentially retaliate. Yeah, so there would probably be a number of ways to do that. You could make like a custom attribute for that. Like a custom attribute float saying like health or healing modifier, right? So if you go into like your attribute set, where is my attribute set? If you just made like a custom one called like healing modifier here, you could just create a custom one here, and this value can just get changed whenever you want. So you can have other gameplay effects that increase this or decrease it, right? Like you can even make this negative. So if you make this negative inside of here, when I'm like doing all these calculations, I could actually grab that person's attributes and grab that specific attribute, the heal modifier, and apply it to that damage as well, or like the healing, whether it be like a negative or positive variable. Hopefully that makes sense. The reason I'm putting it in the attribute set is because at this stage it's replicated. There's other ways to do it, but that would be like the easiest way to do it in terms of like not worrying about if it's replicated or not to the server. Yeah, this is great. I've had trouble finding examples of what I'm trying to do. They all just have a target apply an effect to itself. Yeah, man. So I had to like really go out of my way to like learn all this on my own and like test this stuff for hours to see like what would work and what didn't for multiplayer. And so far this is the best way I've found to do manipulation of values like that. Yeah, so I have abilities in this game, right, where the effect will actually deal damage to enemies but heal allies. For instance, like the druid's auto attack that I have currently will shoot a projectile that will apply healing to all allies within like the radius, the projectile won't die on impact. It'll go through and it will deal damage to enemies. So that's what this function does here specifically. It's basically a dynamic way of applying damage. So it heals allies, deals damage to enemies. It also looks for if the spell even is supposed to heal in the first place. So there's a variable I have in here where it's like apply effect to allies. So if this is false, it just doesn't even bother looking to see if it should apply or not. Now that I'm looking at it, this should actually be first. Technically, if I wanted to get really nitpicky with optimization. But not broken, so I ain't gonna fix it. Where is our ability spawning, and why the fuck is it spawning all the way out there? Am I messing with location at some point here? Shouldn't be, right? If B spawn accurate location is false, it should just use the socket location here. Yeah, I would love to try to explain all my current systems that work with ESPO code and get an idea from an experienced person as to how to redefine and calculate everything with gas. Yeah, the conversion process from one system to another. I've had a couple people in here do the same thing, and it can get pretty complicated pretty quickly. There's a lot of things that need to get converted over. I think the biggest hurdle is just making a bunch of tags that make sense and not getting like totally lost in the amount of tags that you create for certain features in your game. Let's out of this real quick and start it back up. I want to check to see where this is actually spawning at. That'd be something with like the adjustment, maybe. What did it say? Mike, I gotta ask you, what's up? There's also like a really great course for gas as well that teaches you how to use pretty much every single system in it, and like they give like examples of everything, creating abilities, doing effect calculations, like all that stuff, and adding customized abilities like I did. So if you're interested in that, I can shoot a link to you or post one up in chat. It's in the I don't think I actually linked it in the Discord yet. I probably should. Alright, Surge. You're at the right spot here. Then you just go off the fucking rails. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. The documentation's lacking. Let me grab it for you. I actually didn't post it in the Discord, but I probably will after this stream. 1 second. Where is my folder for the gameplay ability system? Here it is. This one here should work, I believe. I think. Yeah, that's the course there. It's fantastic. Hello, how are you doing, Confusion Wood? But their example project is bare. Oh, trust me, I know. It's also, some of the things in there are kind of outdated, which also does not help. But yeah, that course, worth every penny. I'm not sponsored. I feel like I gotta say that, but yeah. It's just good material. It's so weird that, it's like doing like, it's not like the actual location where it's spawning at is like crazy high either, because like the Z is just 177, so it's like the mesh is just getting relocated. Let me see what the spell class actually looks like for this. Is it not centered? Is that the problem? That's not it. Wait a second. My character's rotation 143. This one is also 143. Are any of the other abilities actually having this issue? Oh, is it, you know what it could be? The pivot of scaling. Where's the pivot point on this? No, it's dead center. Damn. How am I doing? Doing pretty good. I fixed a couple bugs last night, but apparently created some more. So, you know, such is life. How it happens. Alright, let's do some control tests here, right? First off, let's have this point great for us. What's it doing wrong? Here, let me show you. It's pretty wacky. So the projectile, right? It should spawn from like the player's hand and go forward. Missed 2 hours. Hey, don't worry about it. The VOD will still be there. The projectile is supposed to spawn from the hand and then go outwards. But it looks like it's just like moving incredibly fast in the beginning. So I think for a controlled here, for like a little controlled experiment on this, I'm going to turn off spell expansion. We're going to see if it continues to do that. Okay, so now we know it's something with spell expansion. It's not the location or anything that's causing the problem. It's however this spell is actually getting scaled. So it is something in here. So this is a normalized variable right here, right? So expanding limit is basically the amount of seconds that we want this expansion to take place. Expansion final additive scale, right, takes the base relative scale. Relative is super important here. The relative scale of this mesh, and then we add on to it. So over the course of however many seconds, let's just say 1 second, right? This number right here will eventually get to 1, and this additive scale will finally reach that amount here. Oh, you know what? I think I just thought about it and figured it out. It's actually something with this formula here. So this additive scale is actually starting from completely 0, right? The scale should never be smaller than what our current mesh's relative scale is. I didn't think about that. So we need like a baseline for this. This actually gets kind of tricky math-wise here for a second. We'll have it start at this amount. And then we will sort of basically interpolate to, it's going to be like a linear amount that we actually get to this final value here. Gotcha. I won't mention it. It's valid to feel frustrated at some points. This is annoying. I really don't want to mess with the expansion final additive scale. Actually, hold on a second. Where is this being changed? I think this is a pretty much like a const, but not really const variable. Begin play, we're setting it here. If we just took this out, theoretically, Okay, I think we should be okay. Make sure that that is set too. Want to know how? Hit me with it. Alright, let's compile now. Good. Whoops. Now it should work. Oh, so they just made them like very thin sliced. More you know. I actually should have checked this back. Hold on. I do want this to expand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That wasn't a linear expansion, that actually was a Shit. Not cubic. Oh, actually it might have been cubic, hold on. No. We take the final scale here, add it to the current amount here. I'll turn the music down just a bit for myself here. Gotta stare at this for a minute. Anything else messing with this variable? You know that's valid. Not going to get the absolute. Should just grab the relative scale of this spell mesh. Used as a baseline, then we are essentially doing a linear scale, which should just be scale plus this additive amount gets set here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no. Okay, I can see why this is bad. shit. Hold on. Yeah, this has to be redone. Did complete expand get called in that last function? Real quick. I know it's going to like grow to be the size of a planet. Really? Oh no, it did. In order for this to work properly, we need to actually have this subtract the prior expansion additive value before we add it to the spell mesh there, I believe. Probably don't want this to be I know this is like a super simple thing. I don't know why my brain is like really struggling grasping the perception of how this math should work right now. It is a crazy fact. You're not wrong about that. Sorry, just super focused on doing the iterations of this in my head. I mean, I could just use a clamp. I could use this same exact effector and just clamp it so that the size of this starts off as a the default size of the mesh itself. Yo soy agua. Assuming you said something about wanting water or something. Little amount there. I drank water. I'm boy. I think that's what I said. Sounds about right. Live coding failed. Uh-oh. What did we break? Okay. There's no clamp for vectors. I mean, technically we can just make our own. It's not that big of a deal. The easiest way to do it is do like a simple comparison. Grab this here, this. Shit, what is the something, the effector library? Very rare that I have to do comparison. Oh wait, I do. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was like, maybe I have to use the one with like tolerance in it, but nah, we're good. Actually not a good way to do it. Using equals is so... Good man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Man, this is actually tough to think about, eh? Alright, let's not waste time here. I mean, technically we can convert these to size and then use a clamp that way. Do I really want to do it that way? Left-handed? No, I'm right-handed. Sorry. I'm gonna have to take a couple minutes to not answer any questions. Really gotta think about this. I don't know why it's brain is like failing me right now. One of those situations. Technically, I could do this. Use the minimum amount. I believe that's what this one does. Yes, okay. I want this to be const. I'm actually going to change it here. This returns that vector. That. Technically, we can actually move this here. Like that. So it'll look for the minimum amount which checks, I believe, each individual part of this. Alright, let's live code this and check. No more bugs, right? Oh, no, there's gonna be more for sure. This one was kind of weird because I honestly I did not think about that the spell mesh would start off at 0, but like looking at that, it's really obvious that that makes sense. That's an emoji gremlin trying to hug you. I think I'm all good, thank you though. I don't need hugs, I need more brain power. Not good. Oh shit, that looks at the smallest amount. Fuck, I need max. No, actually, how's it doing the comparison here? Oh my lord. Yeah, we're not going to go that deep into it. It's max. I don't believe they've gotten me yet. It's funny, as soon as that projectile fired off and it was like as small as like a pea, I was like, oh shit. The wrong one. And the reason it is bumping up at the end there is from this, I believe. Where else am I using this? Not happening, man. Sounds like you're in a crisis. Okay. Is now working as intended. Yeah, so before it was actually just an optical illusion, which is actually really funny. It was throwing me off that bad. It looked like it was descending from the sky, but actually what was happening was it was starting from basically a scale of 0 and then expanding up while also moving at a really fast rate. Which is why this one looks like it's pausing at the end. It's actually not pausing, it's still continuing the movement. but it's also expanding at a very similar rate. Pretty weird, isn't it? Wonder, bring this over. Yeah, so on one screen it looks like it's pausing for a second, but you can clearly see on the other it's still moving. Sweet. Yeah, what was the other bug? That was it. Oh, we don't need that anymore. There are a couple other places where we put yeah, that. Just want to clean up all the logs that we were putting down. Ones can stay. Those are fine. Okay, looks good. You have one active imagination. That's all I gotta say. Now, I think the real thing that we were trying to do here is create the effects for healing. I think that's how we stumbled upon that bug. So let's go back just one step here and go into our tranquility spell so we can see what the effect is. I think this is like a constant application effect, but we need something that actually does more of a heal over time for this projectile. Hello. If you could use English only, that'd be much appreciated. If you guys could just use English only, that'd be great. I'll have to start removing them from chat. I can't keep up with trying to translate what y'all are saying. If you could let them know, that'd be great. That's all I ask. Yeah, but it's also kind of rude, you know? Speaking a separate language in someone else's chat. I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing. What's my age? I am in my late 20s. How are you asking him? Yeah, we need to get to Vex. I actually can take this effect and copy it. I don't believe I have a damage over time effect. One of the clash trees. I'm gonna move this out in just a second. Yeah, so we could use like an effect like this and change it to what we need. Do I want to go about doing this? I'm thinking about like the future system for damage and healing that's going to be in the game. It's feeling good earlier. I just feel like I got like massive brain fog. Definitely have to reorganize these clash trees too. Let's open up a second content here, or a content browser. Yeah, I think, man, there's just so many gameplay effects that I created in the past, and this folder got out of hand. For folder structure in Unreal, I try to keep everything on a very similar system. You using C++? I can't tell if you guys are talking to me or not. Yeah, you guys gotta chill out. I'm gonna have to, send you guys the timeout probably. I asked nicely. Only a 5-minute, so it's not too bad. But just being disrespectful. Hey, how are you doing? Sorry about that. Man. threw me really off track. But what I was saying before was I gotta go back in and reorganize this. So many gameplay effects that were made beforehand that are just in the really poor locations. I try to keep the file structure relatively the same in each of the folders I have. So like blueprints is like a direct representation of how the C++ code looks in terms of file structure. So I had to do the same thing with the effects for sure. But let's move over to that ability and put that in play. We'll change this up too. So the thing is, effects that are marked as damage, oh, also we don't want any stacking. Effects that are marked as damage will apply healing as long as we set it within our gameplay effect. So as long as we have this apply base effect to allies, it should just apply a healing buff or like a ticking healing effect. Just for reference, I'm going to go to the Scorch ability. I went to the spell. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was just double checking to make sure that I had to set the frequency within here as well. So now this should work. Let's actually load 3 clients in, because we gotta test the actual healing effect. And with the auto-assign team, we won't do that with 2 players. Okay. So, test run. Let's deal some damage here. Ooh, okay. Or bugs. This one probably isn't too bad though. Don't care about movement. Up on collision. We don't have any expansion or anything like that happening here. Weird. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the debug for this real quick and see what's going on. Is it actually spawning and then hitting the player immediately? Oh, there's no way. I'm gonna turn off stop on collision. Yeah, it looks like something's preventing the cast. It's something stupid. Let's find out. That looks to be correct. Got it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Ooh, crash. What is this now? Casting component 749. What would that be? Coming from 591. Can't tell. Because the thing is, this problem only happens after live coding, and I've never seen it happen anywhere else. But, I will make checks for these. Can't tell if it's just a coincidence that it happens right then and there. Racist. It's not racist. It's called being respectful. I asked you guys nicely if you could just speak in English, and then you said fine, and then you just completely ignored it. So you basically just spit in my face. Pretty much what that was. You didn't get if we addressed you or if we addressed each other. Right, but I think you fail to see the point of it's my chat. And I just asked respectfully if you could avoid. doing that. I understand what your thought process was, but, you know, I offered you a deal, you took the deal, and then you tore it up after it was signed. Your Reddit community won't tear it up? Hey, well, it's not them that signed it. I did ask politely and you said yes, but then you just proceeded to ignore it. Interesting. We're still emulating at 300 MS right now though. Cannot damage players on same team. The effect actually should go through this for healing. One of my checks has failed then. I mean, this is what happens. Change the whole combat system and how damage is handled. Kind of just have to go through the gutter with it and find all these little issues. Yeah, but because you were confused and Arabic made sense, since you would know that you don't know Arabic, allowing you to know, I was asking him. Yeah, but again, I think you're failing to miss the, or see the point here. You know, I asked nicely for you not to, right? You said yes, and then you did it anyways. Actually, before I continue, I'm just saying, it's basically like you're just like, yeah, man, I got you, and then you just don't do it. I'll do something. I'm about to do something too. I'm about to go check and see where my damage is going. We're checking based off the actual target character. We should be checking off the player state. I think that's where it's actually having a problem here. The auto mod actually kicked in and did that. Funny. Why did I add it? I added it like a really long time ago. I actually forgot it was even there. So you must have not been spamming as many symbols. remove it. Now, why would I do that? You were making a man? Oh, with emojis? I'd have to sign into the Nightbot thing. I'll probably have it be more lenient next stream with it. But I don't want to take the time today to go in and try to figure that out. Oh, okay. So it actually is checking to see if the damage is negative or positive already. Okay, yeah, this makes a lot more sense actually. If the damage is less than 0, meaning that it is in turn a healing effect, and they're on the same team, it'll allow it to go through. But it looks like it was actually just applying damage instead. So if that's the case, if we go to that gameplay effect and change it to be a negative value, should work then, yeah. I think the weird thing is, though, that Tranquility actually uses the base gameplay effect damage. It doesn't have a negative value for the effect. Actually, just using the base value from damage. Oh man, yeah, this all has to be redone. Just looking at it, so like a good workflow does not involve me trying to chase stuff down like this to create an effect. So I realize it's been a very long time since I went in and changed this. So I think with combat being redone, it's a better time than any to actually go in and reorganize the gameplay effects themselves and create like a very standardized system for it. I wasn't spamming, specifically woke gens. What does that even mean? Oh, woke Gen Z. Listen, this is not like a political stream or anything. I just ask for very few things. So I'm not going to get into that topic. Yeah, I think we hit like a probably a good stopping point, because just looking at this and just thinking about it, I don't know if I want to continue on until I redo this, because I'll basically be creating gameplay effects and putting them into folders that are just going to get moved anyways. I think a good way to do this is to organize it first and then go from there and make sure it's the standard organization that I have for all my folders at this point. It looks like an ice pop. That's like friendly, lighthearted stuff to say. Some of the stuff you say sometimes, man, it is crazy. I gotta say that. Yeah. That being said, we squashed a few bugs today. Going to reorganize. I'll be back tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern as per usual. But for now, I don't think you guys want to watch me organize folders for the next like 3 hours. So yeah, your shirt looks like Rudolph's hometown. I'm assuming you mean the North Pole, where you're going with that one. You know what? I'll take it. But yeah. That being said, I appreciate you all for stopping by. I want to watch. Nah, man. You're keeping me distracted right now. Let me see you organize folders. No, sir. Ask me questions and all this stuff while I'm trying to organize. I know what you're trying to do. Thank you, Confusion Wood. I appreciate that. You also have a great day. I'll see you back tomorrow if you're there. If not, totally okay. Let me do it. Hey, you got a game to work on, my friend. So you got to do. I don't forget about the time you told me you were making a survival game. Now you go see it tomorrow. Okay, I see how it is. I bring up that topic. You go see it tomorrow. I don't forget. Sometimes. But anyways, wherever you are, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, or night. And till tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern. Peace.